Very good evening, everybody. And it's a good opportunity for me to be here, organized by Lamicon, to deliver this session for you people today. And it's really an honor for me to be here. So, I would first initially like to start by giving my introduction. And then we'll go ahead with a small discussion where I take this privilege that my friends, I would be able to help you with some inputs about handling interviews, about profile building. Okay, so let me start with my introduction first. So I'm Dr. Seema Vidhavan, and a very challenge-taking and individual who has been very enthusiastic, has gone through ups and downs of the life, where I have carried nearly 23 years of experience, both from academia and corporate. And by serving the corporates, I had the stints to support the students, had the feeling, because in corporates, I was associated with HR. I was primarily into talent acquisition. While interviewing a lot of people there, I realized that there's a need that we should be helping students. So that's how I moved into academia, and I take care of soft skills, I take care of personality development sessions. I'm an associate professor by profession with Jagannath International Management School, Basantkunj. And at the same time, I am taking care of placement. So I'm a placement coordinator for Department of Management and taking care, helping students, coordinating, handling corporate affairs. My interest is that I like interacting with people, like to travel. So that's all about me. And today's session that we have organized is working on profile building. So I understand that a lot of you today are on social media, isn't it? Right? So social media is a very effective platform. So when we say that it's an effective platform, this platform is an economical platform and also a very effective manner by which it is helping people to share their thoughts. Here, people are not only forming groups, people are accessing advertisements, they are the part of a wide range, a wide spectrum where they are having connections, they are having diverse audience. So they are learning, developing, gaining knowledge, persuading influential people, and at the same time, targeting the market correctly, targeting different metrics. They are able to build their own brand. They are learning. So different. So here we see different social media platform. What are we able to see? So we are able to see here we have Facebook. If people can know it correct, so we have Facebook, we have Insta, we have Twitter, we have Snapchat, we have LinkedIn, we have WhatsApp. So different academies, different communities are there where all the people are. Okay, so I'll share the screen. So if the screen is not shared, just give me a minute. I'll share the screen. So it's shared now. Is the screen shared? If somebody can give me a thumbs up. Okay, so if the screen is shared, I think let's go ahead. So we have different social media platforms, and these platforms are categorized into personal platforms and as well as professional platforms that we are talking about, correct? Now, when we are focusing on these platforms give us a diverse range where we can interact with people, we can create groups, we can create communities, we can develop, influence people, we can gain knowledge, we can enhance ourselves. At the same time, these websites are enabling us to building personal connections, right? So when they are helping us to build personal connections, they are also helping us to understand how we should be presenting ourselves. which is focusing on profile building, isn't it? So if I go ahead and show you here my own profile on if I show you here, that is talking about Facebook. So see here on Facebook, I have put across my own profile. And this profile picture is maybe for one of the events that I attended. And on the left side, it is talking about that there was an event that I was celebrating. So it is showing me that, correct? Now, what I want to understand here is just a minute. So what I am showing here by doing on the personal media platform of Facebook, I'm trying to portray one event. Maybe my story was visible and then some pictures are there. But tell me, is that all that we have to do today? No. So it is not just that we are building profile by branding ourselves on personal platforms. At the same time, when we are building a personal network for a personal involvement, it is also important that we have our professional setup. And it's this professional setup is going to capture a wide range of community, which is going to be better for our own career development and taking up different opportunities in our goals in our life. So let's do a small activity here. So I hope in case if you are sitting at home, all of you, I would request that if you can go in front of the mirror. And in case if you're not sitting at home, then just open up your selfie cameras. I'm sure you have selfie cameras in front of you. Or if not a camera, and if you are at home, just quickly go in front of the mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and what do you see? Can anyone tell me what do you see? Oh, what do you see? So you guys are seeing yourself. So who's the star of the day? The star of the day is you yourself. So if you are the star, what is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to learn when you are the star? Just by having good communication skills, just by being confident, and just by building a good network, can you become a star? Can anyone tell me? Can I have some information on the chat box, please? Yes. Okay. So this is not just enough when you are going to the corporate world. To become a star, you need confidence. You need to build a profile. You need to have a good communication. You need to be not only extrovert, but very calculative in a lot of things as to how you are going to portray to people. So you have to understand that branding today, your personal brand is something very, very important. You need to be very clear as to how you are going to brand yourself. Let's say here, again, there is another example now on LinkedIn, coming to the professional website. I had an event here where I was called by one of the professors in one of the colleges on the right hand side. See, they are applauding me with a memento, they are applauding me with few things. So it's a group of people, I'm there on the stage. What is happening here? This, when I've showcased this on the LinkedIn, I'm trying to build my own brand. So these posts on LinkedIn enables you to build your profile. Okay. And on the left hand side, invited some of the people as a guest. So hosted an event for the students of Jagannath International Management School. So by hosting an event, again, I'm reaching out to public at large and I'm trying to tell them that hosting an event is also important. So I am one such person who is trying to build up a strong corporate connections either by inviting or by being called. Another example, go ahead. So if I show you here my profile, delivering this lecture to you right now, spending time, I have still not opened my cards of explaining you of how profile building will happen. But first, I'm focusing on branding and why branding on a right platform is very, very important. So here, by delivering here a lecture on YouTube, streaming it up with you people, connecting with you people, I'm trying to build my own brand. So, yes, these sessions are very important, and it is possible to build up a brand today through digital presence on social media. And LinkedIn is one of the very formal platform which enables us to build a strong brand. Let us now take it up. What are few things that LinkedIn can help in profile building? So if we go ahead with LinkedIn, what are we actually referring to? The first thing that it is talking about, the handshake. That handshake is referring to professional networking. So when this professional networking we are talking about, LinkedIn is a very, very valuable platform which helps us to expand. How can you do that? You build connections, you connect with your own alumni. But before doing that, it's important that you create your profile, which I will cover, which I will surely cover. So it enables you with a valuable platform of building and expanding your professional network. Second, it helps in job search. Now, when we are referring to job search, LinkedIn is one beautiful tool, a powerful tool which will enable you to do an appropriate job search. You know what? Employers today, we have many employers who search. Earlier we used to have various job portals like Naukri, Monster, Insta, Naukri, Monster, Indeed. Today also we have those job search platforms. But beyond that, LinkedIn being a professional networking website, it works and helps the recruiter. They have a specific recruiter tool which helps the recruiter to search appropriate job applicants, both active as well as passive job applicants, and be connected with them. So, LinkedIn to an interviewee, to a job seeker, enables you to be updated by putting up various postings. Then it helps in resume and portfolio showcases. Why portfolio showcases? Because with the help of LinkedIn, you can have certain online resumes and portfolios. Just give me a minute. So you can have your resume. This will enable you. So I will discuss this also, how you can build your profile on LinkedIn, how you can talk to people, connect with them. That's very important. Okay. Then it is talking about professional development. Now, when we are talking about professional development, see, only education that we are getting from institutions, the degrees that we are earning, of course, are very important. But at the same time, expansion of knowledge, there is wide spectrum of knowledge available. LinkedIn enables us to get industry specific content. It enables us to understand different articles about our interest also, and through our connections. When people are posting some knowledgeable research, some knowledgeable articles, some discussions, and when we go through them, what are we doing? We are trying to enhance our content. We are enabling ourselves to become more informed about what are the industry trends. Then it helps us in alumni connections. You know what? If we are connecting, trying to connect with people, when we're trying to connect with people, alumni love to see people who are from their own colleges or from their own schools, and they immediately accept your connection request. Then it helps in career planning. Why career planning? Not only job search, it is helping you. It is helping you to enhance. It is helping you to build up a profile. Lastly, here, LinkedIn would help you in their own personal branding. So building your online presence, even in job search or in sharing the relevant content that you have built up, maybe as a job seeker, maybe as an influencer, or maybe as an educationist, a researcher, it enables you to engage with a lot of people and create your own personal brand. So when you are connecting with wider spectrum of audience, you are able to become popular on social media, and this helps you to gauge and target meaningful audience in the companies or in the industry that which you are. So, welcome, friends. Today's session, we are going to talk about profile building. So, coming to profile building. Now, profile building on LinkedIn is an easy task, but it is very important that we are able to understand how do we build our profile on LinkedIn. I'll show you some sweet examples here. Okay, let's see. Let's go. Now, Now, this is Parnika Jain. Now, who's Parnika Jain? The photo is very clear. So, when we first create our profile on LinkedIn, a right choice of photo. So, is the photo clear? Yes. The photo is very clear. The picture is all front faced. Clarity is very much there. Everything is clear. But this is not the right photo. Why this is not the right photo? Because this photo is animated. Then if I talk about the skills that Parnika has. So Parnika is a senior video editor. She's working with Zimco Media. We can see her full profile on LinkedIn. We can see her experiences that she has. But still, this is not one of the correct way to show. Then let's take another example. So the another feature that LinkedIn offers is to have a background on the photo. Now, this animated photo along with a background of professional PR. Now, if I talk about professional PR, this is one of the big companies. Okay, which is this is one of the big softwares also, which is into different things. So she has picked up that photo, but this is yet not appropriate. Let me take you further to and show you across what is the correct way. So I've picked up an example from one of the ladies, and this girl is working with Tata. Okay. Now see, what is it talking about? The right profile. Her photo is very clear. There is a smile on her face. It's a professional photo that we can see. Background part at the top, that if I'm referring to, what is it talking about? Probably she's working with TCS. At the same time, she has mentioned here that she's looking for something. We are able to see that she's associated with Tata Consultancy Services. Okay, great. Let's take another example that we have here. Okay, I put in my own example. Now, Dr. Seema Vadhavan, what is it? We are crafting a compelling headlines. Now, look here. These small separations which are there are showing my skills, are showing the designation at which I am working. So I'm working as an associate professor. I'm a placement coordinator, soft skills and personality development sessions I take. So I have mentioned that. Now I'll tell you what are the advantages of mentioning all these key skills. Whenever we put the key skills on LinkedIn with our profile, the recruiter who's trying to search these skills will enable you to be picked up, whether you are searching for job actively or not. Even if you are a passive searcher, this will enable the HR, the talent acquisition team, to search for appropriate people who are there. Now, at the background, at the same time, it is showing that I'm an associate professor. Where am I working? Jim's logo is there. So Jagannath's name is there. Here, MIT Noida, though the logo is not there, but the name is coming because when I've created my profile on LinkedIn, it talks about how from where I have done my PhD. Okay, let's see now Varun Joshi's profile, a short profile, and the headlines that it is showing. So this guy has mentioned videos. That means what do we understand? That he is into video editing, or he could be handling some videos, maybe in creation, maybe in editing. But then at the same time, he's acting. So he is into acting, right? Then scripting. So what we understand, he's a script writer. So it's a combination of all the skills that he has. He has mentioned that he's into videos, he's into acting, he's into scripting, direction. That means if I look into it, could be that he's associated with theater, could be that he's associated with film industry or something into TV industry. That is what that we can understand. So anybody who's searching, by putting these good key skills, we would be able to search somebody better. So then when we move ahead in creating a profile on LinkedIn, it talks about a point called about. You have to give your brief summary there. So when you have to write about your strong summary, please ensure the key skills that you have along with the education that you have and along with the experience, your achievements, make it very crisp. So if people are looking here, I have mentioned my own summary here. Satiating experience, guys. So satiating means satisfying experience. So which is talking about a combination of corporate and academia. So I'm not getting into depth, but then top skills that I have. See, look at the top skills. It has picked up university teaching. You need to when you are creating your LinkedIn profile, you very much have to select. After you have put across your summary, you have to search the top skills mentioned there. Okay, now I'll show you one profile which is not that appropriate, since it's a one way domain of conversation right now, communication currently, where people may not be able to revert. But look into this. I have picked up an example of one of my students only. His photo is very clear, but if I talk about the background part, he has mentioned rule one, experience IT, and then he's mentioned his name. But this his back is not appropriate. These kind of backgrounds work in case of personal platforms, work in case of other social media platforms that we have. For example, Facebook, for example, Insta. But this background is not appropriate for a professional social networking website. Okay, let's move ahead. So when we are creating a profile on LinkedIn, once we have mentioned our education qualification, once we have mentioned our profile summary, then recommendations are something. Now, what are recommendations? So requests for recommendations are something which are very important. Now, what are these recommendations for? These recommendations actually add on to help you understand that how have you been as a person. What it talks about the brief. The other person had an experience while being with you, while working with you, the roles and the responsibilities that you have been taking. So requesting recommendations from, you need to choose who is the correct one. So if my audience here majorly are students, I would request that you people ask for recommendations from the most appropriate teachers that you can. If you have done internships, then ask for recommendations from professionals, from your supervisors whom you have worked with. And if I'm catering to currently experienced people also, you can also do the same. If you want, you can take some recommendations from the people in the corporate world with whom you have worked. So that is something very important. So here we have covered some part of profile building on the professional networking platform, and that is LinkedIn. Now it is important that we further, because my focus is also on interview handling and giving you certain tips today on how to handle interviews. I'll move to resume building. So first, let me talk about resume building. There are a lot of people who come to me and they say, "Ma'am, please check our resumes. Are our resumes, is the resume appropriate? What are things should we include in the resume?" So I have tried and segregated for freshers as well as for experienced people, and I'll show you some sample resumes as well, which I've taken screenshots and I've added here in my presentation. So when we are talking about here, so contents on the resume as a fresher, on the left hand side or on the right hand side, it's important that you put your photo. Again, the photo should be very small. It should be A4 size. It should not be a party photo. It should be a professional photo where your face is very clear, the way I showed you for Anirudh or the way I showed you for Parika. Then you mention all your personal details. Along with that, the most important thing that you have to mention is you have to mention the objectives we cover. How do we mention the objective? See, in the objective, it's advisable that you use adjectives. I'll cover that while I'm giving interview tips further. I'm talking about how to handle interview questions. So objectives should be there, education, qualification should be mentioned, experiences should be there with internships, of course, and then key achievements. Now, very important, students. We friends, we are working. I am a working professional, but when you are in the process of engaging and you are in the process of enhancing your qualifications, you are adding degrees to your life, it's important that you understand that beyond teaching, you need to have some achievements. You need to be part of various co-curricular and extracurricular activities. So your achievements could be the skills that you have added. Your achievements could be that if academic achievements are there, wonderful. If you have participated in any extracurricular activities, please mention that. Beyond that, certifications. Today, just one degree does not help you fetch a good job. You need to have various certifications, various online courses are mentioned. Please go ahead and do those courses and get certification. Now see, understand that there are some places which gives you a facility where you can learn, you can enhance. Like right now, what are you doing? You are trying to gather knowledge to enhance and build your profile, okay, on digital platform or otherwise as well. Beyond this, there are Coursera is there, Udemy is there, Swayam for students is there. You can take up these small courses and you can get certifications out of it. So, for example, if you want to get into to become a trainer, all right. So you want to become a soft skill trainer. There are various academies which provide soft skill training. There are various train the trainer program. If you want to get into machine learning, go to Coursera, do different courses on machine. If you want to get into business analytics, do analytics ke different courses. Maybe you need to know various softwares like Python, like SQL, what is running in the industry. But at the same time, do your homework. Understand what is it that the industry wants. So content on resume for a fresher, and it is also advisable currently that you should have a one page resume. So I'm showing you a sample resume. So see, it is divided. The whole sample, the page is divided into two sections, section A and section B. Right side is the depth, the detailing that you are going to do. But please ensure that your font size, the headings, everything, they are all synchronized properly. Left hand side here, I have kept for personal information and any certifications and achievements that you have. Okay. Now, another example of a resume. This is of one of my students who have passed. And this resume is talking about, so she just carried very basic experience, so may have not mentioned the objectives, has straight away come to experience. So you can get into like that. Experience is there, different internships आपने कहाँ पे करी है, वो आप mention कर सकते हैं. लेफ्ट साइड पे आप कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल करिए, आप ये आइकन्स यूज कर सकते हैं. दिस इज मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट एंड इट इज ऑलवेज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट यू नीड टू हैव फोटोग्राफ. So like I was speaking to people in the professional world, people who are in corporates. So we have mixed opinions. Some of them say, the heads HR, they say that photograph is a must. But in some organization, photographs is not a must. It's not mandatory to have photographs on the resume. Okay. So this is in continuation to the previous one that I'm talking about. Look into the achievements that they have. They have mentioned certain achievements here. They have mentioned various certification courses that they have done. And all these things really add value to your profile, right? Now, let me show you. So, for freshers, I've shown. Let me show you for experienced people. So, again, the content remains the same. The headings, the major profile headings, of course, would remain the same. They would not change. Okay. But the presentation may change. Now, one thing, if you would have, you'll see here on the screen, one thing that is going to change is what is it? Profile summary. It is very important that you mention on the hard copy resume after you have given your personal information profile summary. Profile summary is something, a brief that the interviewer would like to look at. So you should there mention in brief your key skills, your achievements, if that is possible, but again, very short. Now, this content has to be developed very thoughtfully. Please write, rewrite, again write, and then come up to something where you are using appropriate grammar and content to show your profile. Okay, and I'll show you by example. See, now this guy is a marketing analyst, and look at the profile summary. They are explaining it with the help of an adjective. So this person has started by saying a result oriented marketing analyst with over 5 years of experience in driving data driven marketing strategies. Then he has talked about growth, he has talked about dealing, what all things that he or she is dealing with. So these adjectives becomes eye catchy. The HR, you get a lot of things to put forward to the talent acquisition team, to the interviewer, to ask why do you say that you are result oriented. So we'll talk about it while we are covering the interview handling tips. So this is in continuation the resume. Another example, continuing with that example, this guy, so first profile, then experience, then education, skills. Now look into the skills. They have very clearly mentioned the tools that this person know, why he is an appropriate marketing analyst. Okay, now coming to another important part, which is the most important, which is awaited by most of the people and the students here. See, we all have learned ABC. Today, we'll focus on a new ABCD for job applicant. Now, when I'm talking about a new ABCD, please understand the approach. All these alphabets are something which are very crucial for the students to be very well prepared in an interview. So whenever you go, you will talk at home that, Mama, tomorrow I have an interview. She'll say, prepare yourself well. What is that preparation talking about? We cover here beautifully, right? Now, what is A? A is here talking about. So there are so many A's, aren't there? So in our childhood, we learned A when we went into our pre-primary, or we went into our play schools. We learned about A for apple. But here, when we are going as an interviewer, as an interviewee, we need to understand that there are various things that we need to prepare well. What is it? Approach. Now, all these words may sound similar to you, but they are different in some way or the other. What are we actually referring to by approach? What is it that we are talking about in terms of approach? Now, right approach. See, when we are going for an interview and we have a right approach, look into this photo. What is this photo talking about? This photo is showing that the lady is very confident. She's very positive. She has a right smile on her face. At the same time, she's doing a handshake. Now, this handshake, warm smile shows that she's receptive towards what is coming her way. So she's receptive, and it also gives an idea that she's prepared well. Second, attitude. Attitude plays a very important role. Now, when you are waiting, look into the second picture, the lady with that red dress. When you are waiting for your turn to come for an interview, you are still showing that you are positive. Your attitude is very much correct. And it is also showcasing that you are keen. Okay, let's go to the third photo, the third picture. The third picture is talking about achievements. How do I say that this is talking about achievements? See, she's smiling, she's there on the podium, could be that she's winning an award. The second one is excited that she has won something, and here the guy on the top is delivering some. So what are all these? They are referring to certain achievements that they have. Now, achievements could be many, as I was talking about earlier as well. Achievements could be your addition of skills, achievements could be your award, achievements could be that how you have even overcome some challenge. Very, very important. These things are very important. The last one that if I talk about is adaptable. Adaptable से अगर हम बात करें, so there are times that we have certain unexpected questions coming. So if you look into the last picture here on the slide, what is it talking about? The lady is pointing herself. So it could be that she wants to know, so you want to know about me, or should I do this work? Maybe if it's an office setup and the guy is asking to do him, the manager is asking her to do something. So she wants to understand, should I do this work? Yes. How adaptable you are. Are you in different working situations? Are you flexible working in shifts? Now, if I take up the requirement of corporates today, corporates expect us to be flexible working in different shifts, or they expect sometimes that are you open to relocate? So adaptability can easily be shown. So hey guys, at the school we only during our play schools we only learn A for apple. But for a job seeker, these A's could be many. These A's could be used as different synonyms of A's can come. Attire can come. Aptitude can come. So for aptitude, you need to be well prepared. You need to understand that do you have right skills for it. Okay, let's now move to the B part, because there are a lot of things that I have to quickly cover here. So the B part, when we are talking about the B part, is body language. Oh, when you're going for an interview, your appropriate body language is something very, very important. Your body language can enable you to get it or make it or lose it. So you need to understand here very clearly that your body language is something very important. You need to have good confidence. You need to have good eye contact. You need to look good. See, if you dress up well as per the job and you have a smile on your face and you look good, naturally you will be able to be more positive and confident to handle it. Behavior. How can you behave? They don't make any kind of such expressions which enable you, which do not enable you to move forward to the next round of an interview. And behavior, the talent acquisition team or the recruiters or the interviewers will be able to judge your behavior by your reaching on time. How are you polite when talking to people? They start, now let me tell you, when you appear for an interview physically, they start assessing you the moment you step in at the reception. The receptionist or the front desk executive will try and analyze you. They'll try and see, they give that feedback to the HR people. So be very polite. You should show enthusiasm to any questions that is coming up to you. Being present. Now, the next one that I'm talking about is being present. Now, if we look into this being present, what is it? The person has asked some question, you are nodding your head and you are answering to that. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि that you are lost somewhere, yeah, you're not able to respond. In case if you're not able to respond, you can always very softly say, I'm sorry, I do not know. Or if you have another important thing, being present is if you want to ask some questions to the interviewer, that shows that you are connected, so it's important you show your presence. Now in B's, the last one that we have is boundaries. जिस बात ही नहीं होना है यहाँ पे. Boundaries, what do I mean? When you are appearing for an interview, share your experiences, but do not share too much of personal information. You need to know where you have to draw that thin line of stopping, what to disclose and what not to disclose. Let's quickly come to the C part now. We all know the C part. The C part is communication skills. What am I referring to? Look into the picture here. It shows that the communication cycle is complete. The recipient is listening carefully. So you need to listen carefully. You need to manage your tone. You need to have a smile on your face. You need to articulate your things very well. That's very, very important. And be a good listener. That really counts. Your tone, your clarity in speech. अच्छा, ये कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बार that you have to only speak in English. अगर recruiter आपसे कुछ हिंदी में पूछ रहा है, so you can answer. Or if you are uncomfortable, in that case also you may answer something sometimes in Hindi. That's okay. But manage your tone, manage your confidence level, your clarity of speech. कंटेंट. कंटेंट प्रिपरेशन की अगर हम बात करें बच्चों, जैसे पेपर्स के लिए स्टूडेंट्स फ्रेंड्स, जैसे हम एग्जाम्स के लिए हम कहीं पे भी जा रहे हैं, मे बी अगर हम मार्केट भी जा रहे हैं, तो वी ट्रेन टू प्रिपेयर सिमिलरली. या हमारा कोई इवेंट है, हम उस इवेंट के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं. प्रिपेयरिंग एंड प्लानिंग फॉर एनीथिंग इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Clarifications, justifications, of course, are required, but know the right time to throw questions. अगर आपने पहले प्रिपेयर किया है और आपको कंपनी के बारे में कुछ क्लैरिटी नहीं आ रही है, कोई बात नहीं, होल्ड ऑन टू दैट. आप वो चीजें सब बाद में पूछ सकते हैं. You guys can, you really can ask them questions, and they love to answer. That shows that how serious and how connected you are. Okay, in terms of content, if I am talking about. Now let's talk about clarity. Clarity can also be clarity of your goal. अब आप ये देखिए, this the droplet even in a globe or even in a glass is so clear. इट इज शोइंग योर प्योरिटी, इट इज शोइंग द क्लैरिटी. यहाँ पे आप अपना फोकस दिखाइए जब आप इंटरव्यू हैंडल कर रहे हैं, जब आप व्हेन यू आर अपीयरिंग फॉर एन इंटरव्यू. आप क्लैरिटी ऑफ टोन और कम्युनिकेशन, तो हमने सारा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स में कवर कर लिया. यहाँ पे कमिटमेंट की जरूरत, दिखाने की जरूरत है. कमिटमेंट कैसे दिखाएंगे? यू आस्क क्वेश्चन टू देम. फोकस दिखाइए टुवर्ड्स द वर्क दैट यू हैव डन. देन क्रिएटिविटी. क्रिएटिविटी से क्या हमारा मतलब है? आपने कुछ यूनिक किया है अपनी लाइफ के दौरान, या जब आप कॉलेज डेज में थे, आप कुछ क्रिएटिवली आपने कुछ इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज किया, कोई एक्टिविटी में पार्ट लिया. व्हाट वाज योर थॉट प्रोसेस? दैट इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी नीड टू फोकस अपॉन. ओके, देन इफ आई टॉक अबाउट डी पार्ट, डिसिप्लिन. डिसिप्लिन हर जगह पे बहुत मैटर करता है. For sure, that's very, very important. Depending upon the organization that you're applying for, you need to have a good dress code, a very appropriate dress code. It is expected in India that you go in formals, whichever company that you're going for. Then decision making se agar hum baat kare, right decision at the right time to handle the question is something which is very important. And yes, digital presence hi to hai ye abhi. हम YouTube पे अगर प्रेजेंट है, तो दिस इज टॉकिंग अबाउट digital presence, which is going to be very good. Okay, then ई पार्ट की अगर हम बात करें, एटिकेट्स, अगर हम एटिकेट्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो हमारा एक रिज्यूम होना चाहिए, हमारे कुछ अच्छे स्किल्स होने चाहिए। एटिकेट से कभी मत भूलिएगा, व्हेन यू आर एंटरिंग फॉर एन इंटरव्यू, ऑलवेज ग्रीट, have an opening salutation. So like when I started with my session, I said, good evening friends, how are you doing? So it's very important that you connect. So these are certain small tips. Engagement. Engagement, when we are referring to engagement in an interview, we need to understand that you are listening, your eye contact is being maintained, you are nodding, you are delivering what is expected out of them. That is being engaged in the interview. Empathy. अब आप मुझे पूछेंगे मैम हम इसके अंदर ये पिक्चर तो मुझे यहाँ पे दिखा रही है कि एक यू आर लविंग समवन, यू आर शेयरिंग दैट वार्म, आप इंटरव्यूअर को एम्पैथी कैसे दिखाएंगे? देखिए, इंटरव्यूअर को एम्पैथी दिखाने के लिए यू हैव टू बी वेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग विद देम, you have to be very understanding, respond the way that they would want. Let's say for example, if somebody is very occupied and they say that it's been a very hard day today, it's very hot, it's very hard, I've been very busy. So you can always say ki, I understand ma'am, life in corporate is very hectic. You can always say that. That shows that you are empathizing with them. A feeling of gratitude, a feeling of gratitude is that thank the interviewer, they have given you an opportunity. So in the beginning or at the end of the session, you should say, I would always say it at the end, thank you for considering me for this job, and I hope to hear something soon from you. That shows that you are expressing, whether you get the job or not, but you are expressing your gratitude that at least you were called for an interview. And believe me, guys, when you are being called for an interview, that is also one of the learnings that you have, right? So ABCD is done. I know that now my friends would be waiting for some of the very simple and important questions and how to handle them. And these questions are not very tricky, they are not very tough, but yes, little simple. Okay, so the first one, we're just going because we're running short of time. We only have 10 to 15 minutes left. So frequently asked questions like introduce yourself, or they say walk me through your resume, or they ask this question, tell me something about yourself, or they say can you share a little more about you. Now these questions are very important. Here you need to focus upon, you need to say why this job is important to you, why. So interviewer actually wants to understand that why is it that you are a right fit. Okay, they are checking your communication. Now how you should answer this question, I've even mentioned it here. I'm an ambitious and a self-driven business administration graduate. So, or example, or a computer graduate, or an engineer with an overall CGPA of this. I've added an adjective here. If you see, I've added my accomplishments here. How I am fit for the job is basically in terms of the skills that I possess. And at the end, maybe you can end with some hobbies or your interest. So what you need to understand here, why I've added adjectives. अगर आपने मेरे पहले के भी profiles कुछ इस PPT के दौरान देखे होंगे अनिरुद्ध के, तो उसने लिखा था result driven. So use one or two adjectives which most precisely describe you. And ambitious, ambitious से क्या पता चलता है? That you have a career goal in your life. Self driven, मुझे किक की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं अपने आप को मोटिवेट करता हूँ. तो these are some of the ways that you can handle the first question, tell me something about yourself. Now you can frame it like, let's say for example, if I frame it for any of the freshers, so I'll say, hey good evening ma'am, I'm not Dr. Seema. Hey good evening ma'am, I am Nishta. I'm an ambitious and a self driven individual who has done her bachelor's of business administration from JIMS Sankunj with an overall CGPA of this. Now why am I mentioning overall CGPA? This is not mandatory. कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको ये mention करना है. अगर आपकी CGPA बहुत अच्छी है, या अगर आप टॉपर रहे हैं तो आप मेंशन करिए, अदरवाइज कोई जरूरत नहीं है मेंशन करने की। अब फिर बात करिए अपनी अकम्पलिशमेंट्स की। अकम्पलिशमेंट्स में आप अपने स्किल्स दिखा सकते हो। अकम्पलिशमेंट्स में आपने कुछ एड ऑन कोर्सेज करे हैं उसके बारे में बता सकते हो। अकम्पलिशमेंट्स में आप अपनी अचीवमेंट्स बता सकते हैं। एंड एट द एंड, why are you applying for this job, why are you interested for this job and this job only, that is वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो उनको एक विश्वास दिलाने की जरूरत है कि आप इस नौकरी के लिए बहुत सूटेबल है। ओके। नेक्स्ट, कॉमनली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन की अगर हम बात करें तो वो लोग जनरली पूछते हैं स्ट्रेंथ्स, टेल मी योर स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड वीकनेसेस। देखो ये स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेसेस क्वेश्चन पूछने से वो बेसिकली आपकी स्ट्रेंथ्स या वीकनेसेस नहीं जानना चाहते। The interviewer only here wish to know your self-awareness. And then at the same time, they want to understand that how can you correlate to it. So, आपको डायरेक्टली नहीं बोलना that I'm a challenge taker, आपको डायरेक्टली सेल्फ क्रिटिसिज्म एज अ वीकनेस नहीं बताना। मेरे यहाँ पे लेफ्ट साइड पे मेरी स्ट्रेंथ्स है और राइट साइड पे वीकनेसेस है। सो जैसे अब अगर मैं बात करूं चैलेंज टेकर की, अगर मैं बात करूं इनिशिएटर की या क्रिएटिविटी की और इनोवेटिव की, ये सारी मेरी स्ट्रेंथ्स है। यहाँ पे रिक्रूटर चाहता है कि आप अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स को बहुत ओवर लाउड होके मत बोलिए। आप यहाँ पे अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स में पहले इंस्टेंसेस दीजिए कि अगर आप चैलेंज टेकर रहे हैं तो आप क्यों कहते हैं कि आप चैलेंज टेकर हैं, आपने ऐसा क्या इनिशिएटिव लिया। तो आपने कॉलेज में कोई इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज किया या मे बी आपने अपनी कंपनी में एक अपनी टीम में एक सजेशन देके किसी एक प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व किया। तो वो आपकी क्रिएटिविटी दिखाता है, वो आपका इनिशिएशन दिखाता है, वो आपका लीडरशिप स्किल्स दिखाता है। सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप उसकी बात करें। वीकनेसेस में कोई भी कभी भी ऐसा मत बोलिए दैट आई डोंट हैव एनी वीकनेस। हर इंसान की वीकनेसेस है। रियलाइजिंग देम एंड बीइंग वेरी कैंडिड इज आल्सो नॉट राइट। तो आप अपनी वीकनेस को जो ऐसी वीकनेस बताइए जिसको आपने ओवरकम कर लिया है या यू आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ ओवरकमिंग, या वो समटाइम्स इट कैन पुट यू इनटू प्रॉब्लम। लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल पब्लिक स्पीकिंग। So public speaking is an advantage. It is your strength, but it can be converted as weakness as well. Detail oriented. Detail oriented is actually a strength, but you can represent that as your weakness. कैसे कि डिटेल ओरिएंटेड क्योंकि आप हैं, आप अपने ही काम को जब रिव्यू करते हैं तो आप छोटी छोटी गलती कर लेते हैं, तो कुछ भी थोड़ा सा डिले हो जाता है। तो उसमें कॉर्पोरेट्स में डिलेज आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड and they are not accepted even. So it's very important that you are watchful of mentioning the weaknesses as well. Guys, we are running short of time, so I'll move to the next questions, and very few things are left to be covered now. And we'll quickly open any questions that are coming. ये बहुत जरूरी पूछा जाता है, what is that not mentioned in your resume? So tell me something that is not mentioned in your resume. There are times that interviewers यहाँ पे share something more about you. You need to tell story for the instances. You need to refer to your strengths and your traits and talk about it so that the recruiter can understand your fitment with the job. वो यहाँ पे ये सिर्फ नहीं जानना चाहते हैं कि आपके पास क्या डिग्रीज है। डिग्रीज उन्होंने रिज्यूम में देख ली है। दे वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, आर यू अ गुड स्पीकर, यू कैन स्पीक, आप क्या इंस्टेंसेस अपने पास एक्सपीरियंसेस के थ्रू समझा सकते हैं। दैट इज व्हाट दैट यू नीड टू फोकस अपॉन इन दिस क्वेश्चन। सेकंड लास्ट, why are you suitable for this role? मुझे याद है जब मुझे शुरू में इंटरव्यू में पूछा जाता था तो मैं बाहर आके कहती थी यार ये क्या बेतुका सवाल है, why am I suitable for this role? Yes, it's very important now. Over the years with maturity I understand, and here कंपनी को पहले अप्रिशिएट करो कि इस कंपनी में अगर मुझे जॉब मिलती है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी गुड फॉर मी। अप्रिशिएट द कंपनी एंड द रोल दैट इज देयर। देन यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड पुट द ग्राउंडेड वैल्यू And why are you the most one who can be selected? Because, yeah, so the values that you have, the inbuilt traits that you have, that you can bring forth for the company. Maybe a team player, that you are a very good team player. Maybe there are times that you come up with different suggestions and ideas to support the whole team. So tell what qualities and skills you have. And don't forget, guys, give proper instances of that. Because आप कुछ बोल रहे हो, you are faking up. Don't fake. It's not good to fake. But in case if you are, then you need to have appropriate instances to support whatever that you are saying. Last, why do you want to join this company? Now, why do you want to join this company? Tell what that company is giving you. That company is giving you a brand. आज की डेट में big five companies are offering good packages, but at the same time they are giving lot of load. Now this is going to be a diplomatic a point that I'm going to pick up. So I do not want to get into it, but even if you are joining a startup enables you to multitask. Talk about it. Small organizations make you a kind of a jack who's suitable for various things. Your learning, your knowledge increases. Give examples and see professionals on LinkedIn. That then here you can also give examples from LinkedIn. उस कंपनी के बारे में आपने बहुत अच्छे से होमवर्क किया है, आपने बहुत अच्छे से प्रिपेयर किया है, और वहां के प्रोफेशनल्स कैसे ग्रो करे हैं, उन्होंने क्या क्या चीजें सीखी है, उसकी सर्च करिए। ग्लास डोर पे पढ़िए इस बारे में। ग्लास डोर एक ऐसी वेबसाइट है जहां से आपको कई बार कंपनी के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कल्चर का पता चलता है। उस उससे स्टिंग्स निकालिए, उससे इंफॉर्मेशन निकालिए, एंड देन प्रेजेंट इट as to why you are keen to join that company, right? With this I come to an end to my PPT, and if the house is now open, we have 3 minutes is open for questions. If you people have any questions, you can throw some questions right now. I hope my session was going good. Shall I stop the sharing? Yes, guys, in case if you have any question, you can put it in the chat box. I love to answer that. No questions? Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a very good evening. I hope that the session was beneficial for the students and the audience. Looking forward to have you all again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lamicon, for giving me this opportunity. Bye bye.